Hey there, this is your host, Will Robinson Smith. Quick note about this interview before we get things rolling. It was actually shot at an active movie theater while I was on the road in Washington, D.C. for a conference, and so because I was traveling, I wasn't able to bring all of my toys with me, and so you're gonna get some of the more natural lighting and audio ambiance from an active movie theater, but I think despite that you will enjoy the substance of our conversation, and so without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy my talk with director Richard Tanne and actor Parker Sawyers about their film Southside With You.
The script as we're walking and talking throughout the day, the challenge, which I really enjoyed trying to meet, was to find the little nuances between each sentence, between each turn of phrase. And I think that really helped strip the caricature down and strip down the impression part of it. So talking and look into Tika's eyes, really listening to Michelle and understand. And Rich would point out, he would tell me, he's like a coach after the art museum scene. He was like, hey, I was looking at the dailies, you're really listening to Ren. Tell it really makes a difference. It's like, yeah, I'll keep doing that. And I think then you just see the human, you see the guy trying to get the girl.
In terms of like crafting that kind of dialogue, I don't want to sound too pretentious, but it was sort of just about doing your research and your homework and then getting the characters to talk to each other. And some things from the research would come out in the dialogue naturally, and other times it would go its own way. You couldn't steer it or control it, and that's when you're really plugged into what you're writing. As far as making Chicago a character, it's funny because I actually wanted the approach cinematically to be grounded and earth level and human level, so that we're not really gawking or sort of memorializing the city. We're actually just in it. We're just immersed in it, and it's just part of the environment that they're making their way through. And certain locations are chosen to reflect the changing mood of the day and of their connection. So it was actually it was about not showing the city off and just letting the city be and letting it exist alongside the characters. So much was changing on a daily basis. Not really fundamentally, but little details that would creep in. Just by virtue of having that, like, we had a really healthy amount of background actors. How do we utilize them, and how do we film scenes through the lens of the people that are around, and how do we use these locations to compose shots, and Parker coming up with different ideas for intention and action in the scene on the fly, using a lighter, using a cigarette, opening the door, where he wants to pause, where he wants to keep walking. So how do we just incorporate these things on the fly and make this better every second of every day?
For me, luckily, I lived out of the country for 8 years, so I haven't seen him on TV ever during his entire presidency. I haven't seen him on TV every day. It hasn't broken into my Thursday night comedy. Everything I saw was clips on Facebook the next day, so I didn't have that immediacy that I would have had if I lived here. And then as far as building the character, I watched as much film as I could of him when he was younger, everything I could find. It's like 15 minutes, I think, total. And then I looked at recent him. He's older. And then I sort of stripped back the years. So if I were to do it to myself, I'm 33, and I go back, I'm like, all right, I hurt my leg when I was 30, so I walk differently now, 33, so I take that, and then I can take off, if he's he's a smoker, so, or he was a smoker. And so I assume his voice now is a little deeper than it was when he was younger. And you just do it that way and slower until you get it back down to 28. Yeah, I think that's how I got the character. Anytime you see a shot that's composed
with a bit more flair or more of an artistic accent. It really is to sort of evoke a turning point or a turning point for the mood in the relationship between the two characters. And sometimes, like in the introduction, the pan up to reveal Parker playing the rock, it is about having fun with the audience a little bit as he's sort of there in silhouette in a hazy, gauzy sort of lighting setup, and so just being mindful of that, being playful with things, and having some of the lighter moments just play out in wider shots and letting them banter and flirt and seeing the body language. What they do with their bodies is as important as what they do with their eyes. So yeah, it was a nice kind of mix of those more fanciful shots that sort of capped off whatever we were trying to accomplish, and then more languid, pulled back vistas of them in the environment, and then of course the all-important close-up where you're really feeling what they're going through. It's really not for me or for us to determine. The world is going to determine that. Whether it's embraced, whether it's needed, whether it's discarded, whatever fate awaits is not within our control. I can also say that I didn't write it and make it to be released now. I had the idea a long time ago. I wrote the script 3 years ago. If we had gotten the financing 3 years ago, and I would have made it then, and I would have hoped it would have been released very soon thereafter. It just so happens that this is when it came together, and we're kind of hitting this moment right now, totally accidentally. So maybe that'll be in our favor. Maybe it'll interest more people. I just don't know the answer.
This film as a piece of art, I think it's refreshing after the summer. I know I'm tired of. I'd still act in one, but I'm tired of the blockbuster, the superhero movies, and that kind of thing. I think it's a treat at the end of the summer to have something so refreshing, real, and authentic.
You think I'm cute?
I didn't say that.